Welcome to this session on test environment and data management, essential components for executing reliable and consistent tests. Without a properly configured environment and relevant test data, even the best test cases can fail to deliver useful results. Let's begin with the test environment setup. A test environment is the hardware, software, network, and configuration where testing activities take place. It should mimic the production environment as closely as possible to ensure that results are accurate and meaningful. The test environment typically includes the application under test, operating systems, browsers or devices, databases, network settings, third-party integrations, and supporting tools. Configurations should be documented clearly to allow consistent setup and troubleshooting. Key considerations for environment setup include compatibility with test objectives, availability of required components, accessibility for team members, isolation to prevent interference with production systems, support for automation and performance testing. Use environment configuration tools or containerization platforms like Docker and Kubernetes to standardize and manage test setups more efficiently. Virtual machines and cloud-based labs also help scale and replicate environments quickly. Next, let's talk about test data management. Test data is the input used during test execution and the expected output against which results are compared. Managing this data well is crucial for accuracy, security, and repeatability. Types of test data include static data, predefined and reused across test runs, dynamic data generated at runtime or pulled from live sources, masked or anonymized data, sensitive production data modified to protect privacy, synthetic data, artificially created data to cover specific test cases. Key practices in test data management. 1. Data relevance. Ensure data matches test case conditions and covers edge cases. 2. Data privacy. Mask or encrypt sensitive personal data to stay compliant with regulations like GDPR. 3. Data availability. Ensure the right data is available when needed, especially in automated tests. 4. Data consistency. Avoid data conflicts by using isolated data sets for parallel test runs. Data should be version controlled like code and easily restorable. Use test data management tools or scripts to seed, reset, or generate data as needed. For example, you might use SQL scripts to populate databases or APIs to generate test records. Combining environment and data management practices leads to stable, predictable test execution and fewer false positives or negatives. To sum up, a test environment must be reliable, consistent, and representative of production. Test data must be accurate, compliant, and aligned with test objectives. Together, they form the backbone of test execution quality and confidence. In our next session, we'll dive into test automation tools and techniques, how to speed up testing without sacrificing quality. Let's keep going strong.